All right, so I've started up a third video just to do a couple of tips and tricks in InDesign because we finished the demo a little bit early. So I'm just going to create a new document real quick. One of the tips and tricks I guess I can show you is, you know, when you go to new document, there are some presets for you. So there's a horizontal letter, which is, you know, 11 by 8.5. So think of not portrait, but horizontal. Regular letter. You have a legal and a tabloid, but you can also view all presets. So you have a half letter, legal half, A5, you know, some of the things that you might run into out in the field. That Adobe has made some presets. There's also web presets. So if you wanted to mock up in InDesign a website, you can do that. You know, different pages. If you wanted to mock up something for a mobile application, this is new. They have the iPhone X. They have all the iPhone ones, obviously, up top. If you hit more, you can get to the Google Pixel, but they're clearly not going to put that up at the top because Adobe and Apple kind of play along a little bit better together. I mean, you can even get down to the Kindle. So I'm going to go to print and just select a letter and hit create. So one of the things that I'll show you is using Adobe Color. So I'm going to go to color.adobe.com, and you need to make sure that you are logged in with the same login that you use for your Creative Suite. I can't tell you how important this is because there have been times where I have two Adobe logins and I've been accidentally logged in as my other Adobe login, and I've made, you know, these color schemes, and guess what? They're not showing up in InDesign, and I couldn't figure it out, and it was driving me bananas. And finally I realized that I was just logged in to the wrong color scheme. So these things happen to the best of us. So I always say learn from my mistakes. So I'm going to click on this one, and I'm going to edit a copy of this scheme and just hit save, basically, to it's set to my themes. I'll just create a theme real quick. All right, here we go. It's the same theme. Oh, they changed the UI, the user interface of Adobe Color since last week, basically. All right, so I am going to put this in the Creative Cloud. I'm going to make a new library called Tips, Tricks, and save it so I know which one it is, and click Save. And I'll go back over into InDesign, go into my CC libraries, and open up Tips, Tricks. It's going to take a moment. Here it is. So what I can do from within the CC library, let me drag this out, and let me find my swatches and drag my swatches out and put them over here. I'm going to right click on this, and I want to add my theme to swatches, add the whole theme. And it's going to put copy of Martha's Vineyard, because that's what I had named it, in here. But it puts them in as RGB swatches. So what you would then need to do is hold down Shift, select the first one, and select the last one, so it'll select all of them in between. Right click, and you want to go to swatch options, and where it says color mode RGB, scroll up and change it to CMYK and hit OK. And that'll change all of them together. And then you can even just close up your theme, select it, and drag it all the way up to the top, especially if you plan on, come on, really? You're gonna do that tonight? You're gonna call me a liar. Let's see if I can drag these out. All right, apparently if you drag them out, that works, and then trash the folder. And that'll kind of, you know, put all of your swatches in an order that you can work in. And then, like I said, you know, if you find that you are using similar things all the time, you know, maybe if, I'm just going to kind of go back to when I made coupons. So our coupon disclaimers, way back in the day, this is going to be a kind of bizarre example, but our coupon disclaimers were always centered. They were always 7-point type, and usually Helvetica, condensed. Can you believe I still remember this? I can, because I did this for so many years. It was usually 47 condensed. And it said, with this coupon, whoops, this coupon, like coupons cannot be combined with other offers. And then on the next line, it said the expiration date. So I'd always do a bunch of zeros for the expiration date. And then what I would do is I would, with my black arrow tool, drag this and place it into my library. And I would double click where it says text 1, and I would say disclaimer 1. And then anytime I needed it, I could just drag it out and resize it. But the other thing that you can do is you can actually, let's say that you find a font that you really like, you know, and it works great for a headline. So let me find a font that would work great for a headline. I have one in mind. Oh, where are you? Can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I think it begins with a C, but it did not. Oh, here you are. Wait, where'd you go? Chunk 5, there we go. All right, so I can type in headline. And drag this on here. And then again, double click where it says text and say headline font. So if you find, you know, some good font choices, like what if you realize, you know what, Garamond regular is great body copy. Again, do the same thing. Add it in, double click, name it body copy. So that way, you know, if you're ever at a loss for fonts to use, you know, oh, I had such a great font combination for something that I did in DES 105. You know, Helvetica and Times really seemed to work well together. You know, you can make a text box and open up or load, I should say, your character styles from that assignment. Let me go to and do a check all. So you can say header 1, header 2, header 3. Oops. Body copy. None. There we go. Bullet point. Drop cap. Subheader. And then drag this in here and just name it something like text ideas or font ideas, actually. And then you have that. So then next time, you know, that you are looking for some font ideas and you're trying to put things together, you have a couple of ideas of, you know, right here in your tips and tricks. another thing that we used to do is, and you'll probably run into this, is the big thing now on all different ads and different, pretty much anything these days, is using the social media logos. So you can add in, let me find, okay. I was gonna say, I know it's in probably this folder. So I've got Facebook. I can add the logo in, just drag it in here, name it Facebook. Replace this one with Instagram. Drag it in here, name it Insta. Pinterest. And Twitter. So now I have all my social media logos. You know, next time I'm working on something and I need the Pinterest logo, I just drag it out. The Facebook logo, just drag it out. You would want to use, these are from when I taught the web class and they're low res. You would want to use the real Illustrator versions that you can download. High res versions. But you see, you know, it's, and then you can search within here, you can search for Adobe stock stuff. It's really such a great tool. Let you know when everything's up to date. Yeah, so that's just, you know, setting up, again, your laying out your entire area in InDesign how you want it. You know, if you click this little arrow to collapse things, you can open it up and give yourself, you know, some more, or make the options a little bit bigger. You can drag panels on top of each other so that way they're kind of nested together. Like I like to put my color with my swatches, with my stroke. I like to keep my character and paragraph styles together. I don't normally have text wrap open, but I like to keep, you know, pre-flight open, and I would probably open up something else with pre-flight. Hold on. Can't remember what it's called that I usually have with it. Oh, separations preview, to see if there's any, you know, RGB colors, double check things. So again, you know, and then save your workspace. So a couple of great tools. Everything's really integrated. Anything that you put into your library in InDesign is going to show up in your other programs. So it'll show up in Photoshop. You can close this one, I guess, and go to Window. Oh, I must have my libraries open. Oh, here they are. So tips and tricks, drag it right out and place it in Photoshop. So you see, it really is a great tool. Don't say that. All right, so is there anything else I can help anybody out with before we end for tonight? And if no, that's all right. All right, well, thank you guys for coming to the live session, and I really appreciate all of the hard work that you guys have put into your assignments this mod. Please keep it going through this week. If you need extra help, please make sure that you are coming to the multi-session or emailing me early so I can definitely help you out this week. Get into to see the learning coaches if it's kind of late. DJ has some great late hours. There's people there late in the SSC, go through everything, to help you out. And again, email me with any questions or concerns you might have, and have a great night, everybody. Hope to see you all again soon.